Hello, everyone. Welcome to Paranormal Connections radio show. I am your host, Christina George, along with my co host, Chad over there. Hey, Chad.
How's it going? How's it going?
Good. And tonight we are back to have a lot of fun. So, everybody, I know I got a lot of emails about not doing the show last week. I have to say, last weekend was my birthday weekend.
Well,
First night was amazing. Second night sucked ass. Like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But Friday night I had a blast. So a lot of stuff was going on. Didn't get a chance to do the show on Sunday, but we are back. And I will tell you, we got a pretty good lineup coming up. We've got some celebrity psychics. We've got some drama coming up. We got a little bit of everything. So I know Chad has been waiting. He
hmm.
loves the drama show.
Oh yes. Yeah, I love it. But today we're talking about what? That high tech stuff, huh? Paranormal tech, aren't we?
Paranormal
Cool
investigation
gadgets.
equipment.
That one.
Something that I don't use, we all know, because if you give me any equipment, I'm going to fritz it. But I will tell you, my team absolutely loves it. I love watching it. I just can't
Pretty
interact with it and touch it.
fascinating stuff. Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting. So we're going to be talking about the equipment that's out there, what it does, what you should be using it for, how to use it properly, and again, paranormal equipment, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be electronics. It could be your dowsing rods. It could be your Ouija board. It could be your pendulum. It could be so many different things. But again, you want to use everything, correctly and safely so that you don't end up with any problems. We were just having a whole
Some,
conversation
some
about the Ouija
unwanted,
board.
some unwanted visitors, coming home and harassing.
Yeah, because we all know my story of and my little attachment, and we're having a conversation, and who knows, maybe my experience and how it kind of turned dark after using a Ouija board maybe didn't have anything to do per se with the Ouija board. Now, mind you, back then I didn't know how to use one anyway.
I don't know. I've heard
But
some pretty rough stories from a lot of people seem to have that Ouija board story.
yeah, but I was a teenager, and I do see that a lot of people don't really know how to use equipment properly.
Right.
I mean, really, it's like we all just kind of learn on the fly and, being around other people and, checking things out. So, yeah, I think tonight is going to be a great show. Let me tell you a little bit about both of my guests tonight. So, our first guest is Bob Christopher. He's the founder and lead investigator of Ghost Detectives TV. He's done over 100 episodes filmed already, and they're out on Amazon. He's also the owner and operator of Vortex Ghost Gear, and again, creating some of the most unique and custom pieces of paranormal equipment that I personally have ever seen. And I've been following for a very long time with a lot of this equipment. Um, He's co-owner with at Ghostly Excursions with Gina, and that's where they'll be taking people to some of the most haunted locations in the USA. And I definitely want to talk to um, Bob and Gina about those locations as well. I'm sure you guys are interested as well. But along with Bob is Gina, and Gina Bengtson is the host of The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. And if you've ever seen her show, it is an amazing show. Make sure to check it out. You can find her live on YouTube, Facebook, and lots of other audio venues every Thursday from 8 to 10 Pacific time. Oh, I'm sorry, Eastern Standard Time. I forgot they're on the East Coast. She's also a cast member of the Ghost Detectives TV, co-owner at uh, the Ghostly Excursions, going around the USA. And I'm super excited, again, to have both of them just because these are two topics that I am super excited about, as well as so many people have been asking me. Once I posted this, a lot of people were messaging me, asking me about where they can get the equipment. So we're going to have all that. Anybody who has any questions, make sure to put them down in the comments, and we will make sure to respond. So let me bring on our guest. Hey, Bob.
Hello,
Hey, Gina. How are you?
we're great. How are you?
Hey,
Fabulous.
we're here and it's ready for another show. Hey, everybody who's in the chat room, thank you so much for joining us. So, first of all, welcome. I have been trying to get you guys on the show for a long time, but because of my health and having to kind of take a hiatus from everything, it kind of, flipped to the wayside. You guys had a lot going on back then, as well as even now.
Always, yeah.
You guys got your hands in all kinds of different things. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys are currently involved in.
Penhurst Paracon.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited to hear about that because I've never been there.
Oh gosh. Well, we were doing a lot of investigations there and stuff, holding a lot of for ghostly excursions, taking a lot of people there, and then we got more involved with Penhurst, with the people in Penhurst. We put on a couple Paracons. The first one was fantastic. We had like 2,500 people on the first one coming through. Yeah, and this one here, we've sold already like 4,000 tickets. This is going to be huge. So we have all the ghost hunters. We have all Destination Fear in past ghost hunters too. All the cast members, Destination Fear, Kindred Spirits,
Mountain Monsters,
Mountain Monster Man,
Chris Williams.
Yeah. So like a lot of we have a lot of people coming, celebrity people, and we have so many vendors. Like this year, we've always had our vendors. Like, well, the first year they were in Mayflower. The second time they were out in the courtyard, and then that was a heat wave, and everybody that was there, knows we did our damnedest to make it better for everyone. Spent like buku bucks on bringing in ginormous air conditioned units for the tents and whatnot. But so they know we did our best. We were all drowned rats for the weekend, but we still had a ball. And then COVID hit. Yeah, so COVID hit. So now we're back, and they've done so much work since that last Paracon to that place. It's unbelievable. They've knocked down buildings. They've prepared buildings. Devon's got a facelift. So now all our vendors are going to be in Devon. So now we sold out Devon, and the vendors are spilling out into the courtyard. And, there's going to be VIP.
We're over 150 vendors already.
Yeah, there's going to be VIP time with the, there's VIP passes, all different kinds of passes. And you can go to penhurstasylum.com to check it out, all the different kinds of passes that you can get. I think vendors are definitely sold out by now, unless we can open up some more room in the courtyard, and that would be
no. The courtyard is open. I think that's all that's left is just tent
yeah,
space.
Bring your own tent and table and chairs and things, and you can.
And when is the event?
May
19th and 20th.
20 and 20.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, for a comeback, show, you definitely this is going to be huge. I mean, if it's even almost double what it was before the pandemic, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait, and it's gonna be good. So vendors bring a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna come and check it out next year, and I mean, it sounds like an amazing thing. I've heard so much about Penhurst. And Chad, have you ever investigated there, or do you know anybody that has?
I have not. I know people that have, and it's quite the location from what I hear. I mean,
it really is.
It'd be neat to go check it out.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, again, I've had plenty of people who I know that have investigated there over the last 20 years, but again, there's such a bucket list that I have of so many places because I'm here in California. So like California, Colorado, Nevada, it's like I've hit all this, Arizona, I've hit all those places, but it's like to get out like to the East Coast, get to the different areas.
Coast.
Come on, girl. You guys can come. I'll share mine with you. Some great locations. You can share some with mine. We can definitely do that for sure.
Yep. You can come.
Hey, Michelle.
Take you around.
Nice
Michelle, I love you.
All right. Stanley, nice to see you. Thank you. He's a new listener and has been very interested. Laura says, I want to bring up cell phone apps and ghost talk that seem legit. I think apps can intersect with other phone data, memory, location, almost an AI spoof. I don't trust it. Obviously people want to know about the equipment. I'm telling you. And the interesting thing is, again, I've known you both for at least 10 plus years at this point. And I have seen a lot of the stuff you guys have done over the years. Bob is just amazing when it comes to coming up with ideas. And then you with, the pairing in with that to make some amazing things. There's something that I want you to show. One of the things that I was very interested in a while back ago, at least a few years ago, I think, when I reached out to you guys about getting one of these. Can you show one of the examples of what we're talking about and explain it a little bit, since you guys are the ones that created this?
Well, okay, yeah, cryptocords. Okay, this is our coffin shaped cryptocords, and this is how they kind of started, when we first started making this design. Okay, and what this does, Bob has had extensive research. Before we come out with a piece of equipment, he does all the studies. I do all the designs. Okay. So what this does is it is motion. Obviously, you can tell by this little sensor, but it's temperature, and it's heat and cold. And our sensor is custom made for us specifically. All right. It's like two sensors in one. It's not just go buy a motion sensor and stuff it in a box. No, they're special ordered, they're special designed, and we're the only one that has it. Right. Ours goes out 45 feet, but people have told us that it's gone out even further than that. People that took it out to Gettysburg, out on the fields, down the paths, they said they had 55 feet, and and they were measuring it for us and stuff, and it was still working. So we went from kind of doing like this hand painted design to, like I graduated up to bigger and badder and better designs years, because we've sold so many, and they're all different, sounds inside too, so they can sound like
everything's backwards on here.
Yeah, it is. I'm used to it because I do StreamYard, but yeah, everything is totally customized. So you can put whatever you want on the front. So it's either your team logo or your character or your theme or whatever. If you like Halloween, I've done a million Halloween boxes, and ghosty boxes and stuff like that, or everything. I mean, we've seriously done like thousands of them now. So it can be anything you want on the box and any music you want inside the box. And then how it works is when you go in front of it and you break it. So here's the thing with the music needs to be solid music, preferably with no words. And do you know why no words? Because it interferes with your EVP. Right. So music, you want music, and solid, because if something goes in front of it quickly, it's going to turn off and on quickly. Okay. And if something lingers in front of it, it's going to stay playing. So now something is in that field. Whether it's coming at you or just walking back and forth. There's my co-host right there. That was Mama D.
That's the inside of it.
That's the inside. Yeah, it takes 4 batteries. He uses an upgraded speaker and everything, because Bob wants to put out the best that he can, And where you get these things is vortexghostgear.com. All right, so www.vortex.
And I want to make sure everybody knows that website, because I have seen on Facebook, I have seen another person online selling a knockoff, let's just call it what it is, a knockoff version that looks very similar to what you have. I mean, if you did not know, because when I saw it, I'm like, hold on a minute. I've seen those before. And so I had to go and take a look and kind of check it out. They're more expensive, but this person is stating it was their original idea and concept. And, that people were saying, oh, they got one and took it apart and recreated it. But tell people why, even if that's what somebody does. Say somebody decides that they're going to buy one from you, and then they're going to try to take it apart and then figure out how to do it, put it back together and sell it for more money and try to, take you guys off the map.
Yeah, God bless you. That's all I'm going to say, right? God bless you, and try, because that's what she did and we were tipped off. They said, someone said, hey, I know for a fact she bought one from you, and she's copying and putting it out there. One, she's saying that the sensor does the same thing. There's no way in hell it does.
Doesn't.
Right? Because it's
doesn't. This is a personal design.
And also,
this will actually pick up ice cubes swinging.
Yeah, that's what happened. I came home. I went downstairs. There's Bob with an iceberg swinging, and I just looked at him, and he's got his, his crazy scientist helmet on right down there, and I'm like, nah, I don't even want to know. He'll tell me later. But what I do is I tell him, hey, like for instance, our cats and dogs. We get cats. We get piles of equipment. We're going to explain everything. All right. We got time, I hope.
Perfect.
So.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
All right. Stay up there. Okay.
Yeah, Michelle says she loves hers.
Yeah, this is our easy scan ghost box, right? And it's very easy. All right. It's just push the button, pull a knob, and pick a speed. Spirit box. Because I'm blind and I'm old and I can't see, and I don't want to do the little teeny spirit box and the speaker and the wire and the flashlight and you can't see all the little things to see what speed you're at. So I'm like, Bob, can you come up with something easy for me? So he goes, all right. Like a week later comes up with this.
He understood the assignment.
Boom. That's it. It's like, and there you go. And then the inside, well, I do designs on these too. So this can be custom anything. Like this one I made look like an old clock box, right? Now this is a twofer because we do boxes that have this, which is a plasma disc, which you can use for vibration, like our geophone. Okay, so when you turn it on, you can have it on all the time, or
cool.
Or you can have it on it's like a sensor. So it's picking up my voice. It'll pick up tapping. All right. So if you leave this on the table.
Any kind of vibration.
Yeah. So you can say, can you tap it once for yes and twice for no? You know what I mean? So it's a piece of equipment. But inside, again, Bob's special equipment, his Arduino-based computer that he makes in there. There is also a place where you can put in a antenna, because we are investigators. We're in holes, right, tunnels, we're in caves. We don't get great reception. So there's a place that you can put an antenna so you can get better reception. So you can pick up something more, and also you can hook a portal up to it. Very simply, just pull out a plug, put it in, and the portal's done. Very simple, real easy. That's why it's called Easy Scan Ghost Box, right? But that's what I do. Bob,
I'm not laughing at you, but Michelle said that she needed to head out and she's going to watch later until she saw that, and she's like, "Oh, hold on, wait, I have to wait and see this."
That's fun. But I have a lot of other boxes, more like square boxes. And hi, Michelle, I love you. But it can be your team logo on the top. We can put that plasma disc on the top. We use like the cigar boxes, which are really cool, really nice,
right,
thick wood and awesome. I can put feet on them, and I've made them that they are.
Sorry, we don't have any.
I know because
we're sold out.
Yeah, I know. So I can
get them, they go.
I can decorate anything, like even on my phone, like this little fox here stuff. Like I can make a fox box, or I can make a ghost box, or I can make steampunk box, or, And when we started, just like the difference between making one of these and making one of those, it's like I just kind of hand painted, and I wasn't really into all that stuff. Michelle got one of our very first ones on our.
I remember back then too. I mean, a lot of people that we know in common were just, I got to get that. I want one. I was seeing videos that they were posting using it, so yeah, they're definitely well known. That's why I was, stating that I want to make sure people know the legit site to go to.
Right. Yeah. Vortex is the, what I mean? You got to be careful out there. And hey, I'm all for people doing equipment. I love equipment. I'm an investigator, have been for a million years now, and I've used tons and tons and tons of equipment. I love it. I like Bob's. We don't, add too much to our equipment because we don't need to. All right. We've got everything covered. All right. And I'm going to do the rundown. All right. So like you guys like REM pods. All right. We've got, this is our V pod, all right? But the difference is here, you show, okay? The difference is it's smaller, it's sleeker, it's less money than a REM pod. We have a REM mode and we have a musical mode. So when you're playing around with kids at a location, they like music mode. better than
Right.
they do REM mode, because they can get scared easy, right? So they can play. So that's our V pod. Okay.
And you can put it in your pocket.
Yeah, it's smaller, sleeker, not as heavy, and a hell of a lot less money than a REM pod. All right. So that's that. Now we have domes that he 3D prints. Okay. Now these you can demonstrate. He's like Vanna. He's my Vanna. But this is for manifestation. All right. So this is proximity, right? This is manifestation.
I have no static.
You have no static. There you go.
go.
But it's static. So when a
It's
spirit is going to manifest, it makes static energy, right? I know I've been having.
It's kind of like, when the hair on your
humidifier.
arm stands up or the back of your neck.
Right.
That actually gave me the idea to come up with that.
Right.
Very cool.
So they say
Very
static
cool.
energy. All right. And give me
I have a question coming in from Facebook private message. So Ronnie from the UK is asking, this message I guess is for Bob. How much time and research goes into each of your projects for your equipment?
Well, we have lots of projects going on actually, and we'll take it to all our investigations, any kind of piece of equipment we want to try out. I'm telling you, I literally have a box load of stuff down there.
Just all right, if you
I've
guys
invented and then threw in the box and said, no, I'm not happy
If you
with it.
guys are gonna
you
go
know?
anywhere, don't, because we're gonna show you something like off the chart insane. All right.
Awesome.
Don't go anywhere. Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
There's only one in the entire world, and we have it, and I'm not even sure if we're going to sell it because it's so complicated. Okay. However, all right, so I'm going to finish going on with like what we have for all the senses and all the things that can happen at an investigation. So you have a claim. All right, there's a manifestation down the hall. I'm seeing a shadow figure. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing that. You use that dome, throw the dome down there. Right. I hear footprints, footsteps are going up and down the stairs or down the hall. To your phone. All right. Now, this is vibration. Okay. So anytime, you put this in and there are footsteps going. Now, the difference here, there are many geophones. Okay. But this one here has a sensitivity level. So if you're on a concrete floor or if you're on a bouncy wooden floor, you can accommodate for that.
It's still going off.
Yeah. Because it's on high.
No, it was on low. There we go. No, it's off.
We can't put it down on anything. If I put it,
if you put it down. See, now it's working.
Yeah, now it's working because it's down. But you can have it so sensitive that you can set it off by just tapping your foot all the way across the room, is what I'm basically getting at. So the sensitivity level helps you. All right. So we try to make a piece of equipment that's going to do its job and do it well and be able to do it in all locations. Right. Now we have the HTO. Okay. This is our haunted trigger object. Okay. This is an item specific thing. All right. Pick up the sword. All right. So if you're in Gettysburg, if you're doing a battle, this is what ghost hunters used on their show. So you have a sword and you want to, hook it on. I don't even know. Is that?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
It's going to go off.
So
you're holding it.
I'm holding it. Yeah, I know. I'm holding it again. But you turn it on, and when something touches whatever this is hooked to, the light will turn on. You can adjust again your sensitivity, and it makes a field around the object that you hook it to. So you can hook it directly to anything metal. We can put things on.
Ghost hunters actually.
Yeah, ghost hunters use that. And it was on one of their shows, and it worked. But we have we'll use metal trays like this. Right. So you can hook this to this. You do that. Hook that to that. You can even do you can put anything on this tray too. So you can even put like a bottle of water. Back up a little. Right. You can put a bottle of water on there. And again, you can turn it on, set your sensitivity to, where it goes off. And then you turn it up slowly until it just goes off when you're grabbing the tube. I can't do this because we're up. I mean, if it would be great. Right. Have one. But that's what that is. And it also has a super loud, annoying alarm that if you leave it going and you go into another room, you'll hear it. All right. So leave your camera on it. But if the keys are missing or anything like that, any object at all you want to monitor, this is the way to do it. All right. Then we have my favorites. Okay. Our cats and dogs. Right? So we have realistic cats and dogs. These are proximity meters again. And we have, we have hound dogs and things too, if you like to go to Getty's, and you can put the hound dog out in the field.
We have like 13 different breeds.
Right. So we have a litter and a kennel. And they have two modes. They have the REM mode and a music mode. So kids can come up and touch it and play with it and interact, and they're awesome. And again, we were the first ones that came out with this. Nothing like a Boo Bear or anything like that. Right? So we have a bunch of cats, a bunch of dogs, and because I'm the parafox, I have a fox.
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm the only one.
There you go.
So that again is proximity. You actually have to come up and touch it.
We don't know how many cameras were sold out of them.
Yeah, we're sold out of cameras, but I had them get me for Christmas a body cam. I want to try to do a body cam. I've always wanted to have one. And I've tested it a little bit here and there. I think it's going to be fantastic. But we do GoPros and stuff, and he makes them full spec. And he does lights, IR lights too.
Do you think the GoPros or the body cams are better for picking up things when you're investigating?
I like them, and then like even way back in the day, do you remember when Ghost Hunters was like coming out and they had these?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, I had
Yes.
those
So
actually.
I was like, I have those. Right? I did. I was like, I need those, So, I've always been an equipment person, but I like the way a GoPro, when it's full spec, when it's, fixed, I like the way that it films because it's not so grainy. It's a nice, clean, crisp picture, and you can pick up good EVPs with it too if you don't have it all cased up, because it does. It picks up some awesome EVPs. Oh, I love you too. That's my co-host. Yep. You see me and Mama D every Thursday night, 8 to 10 p.m.
Absolutely. Make sure to check them out.
Yep. Now, yeah. Okay. So now you want to see the big reveal.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. We had a concept. We had an idea. We were talking about what can we do with
A year
Ouija
ago.
boards? Ouija boards. Oh yeah, because it took this long to build it.
It took literally like 8 months to build this.
How many wires are in this thing?
460 wires.
460.
Oh wow.
Okay. Bring it up. Okay. This is an actual spirit board, right? This is a hands-off spirit board. All right. This has been a dilemma in the paranormal field forever. All right. Because people will say, oh, I can do the Ouija board, and oh, you're pushing it, you're manipulating it, this and that, right? And making it say stuff. And then if you put a blindfold on someone, it's not saying the same stuff, right? So, but this is pure spirit, right? You just put it down, you ask, right? You can have them point to different numbers, and they can come in straight over them, hit the numbers. It's kind of hard at this angle, right? But numbers, letters, no, yes. And the most important thing, whenever you use a Ouija board, there's two very important things. One, never, ever, ever use a Ouija board alone, ever. Okay. And two, say goodbye and close your session and close your door. That is the most important thing. That's where people get into trouble. Okay. But if this is just like any other piece of equipment, in order to speak.
Let me ask you a question real quick, because you said, one of the big things is to not use a Ouija board by yourself. But I see all the time on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, people doing, Ouija board sessions by themselves for the viewers. And like, talk about why that's not probably best idea.
Well, one, it's you're not even sharing your energy with someone else on that board. You're all by yourself. You're setting yourself up for a thing called progressive entrapment. Okay. And the spirit will lull you in thinking that, oh, I've got this person and I'm going to give her a little bit. I'm going to give or him or her. All right. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit until you're like, oh, I can do this by myself. It's just fine. But you don't know who that is. Right. And all this time you're setting yourself up for a possession, and it's very simple because you don't have anyone accountable for you.
I think it's more of your intent.
No, you
I
don't
think
have
it
anyone
is.
accountable for you to watch you to see if anything
This you can use
changes
by
in you.
yourself. Why couldn't you
Well,
use
this
this by
one-
yourself?
Well, because you're not touching it. You're
Right,
not using your
exactly.
energy. This one you can.
You're not a conduit.
Right? But Ouija boards themselves, and we just talked about the dilemma of the Ouija board itself. Right? This one is a full spirit board. This one is just by itself. You know what I mean? You are not putting your energy or yourself at risk with this. You know, but when you're touching a planchette, you're using your energy. You're inviting that spirit in to you to spell. Right? This you're not. Difference. Big difference. Right?
Stanley's asking, has that been tested in the field yet?
Not so much. No, we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it to
We're taking it to
Penhurst,
Penhurst.
and we've done some stuff around here. And believe me, I live in a very active house. Nice spirits, nothing bad, right? But they don't.
We only used it very little in here because I
Yeah.
don't want to be using this in here if I don't know exactly what's going on with this yet.
Right.
Yeah,
A lot of people have asked us if they're for sale. It's a lot of work,
Yeah, it's
and
a lot
I
of
want to
money.
make sure it works before
Yeah,
I actually go and sell something. I won't sell
Yeah.
something that I
Yeah.
feel
this
it
is
doesn't work.
you know, with all them wires and all those sensors and everything else, there's a lot invested in that. And then we'd have to have custom boxes made. You know, that box is as old as the hill, almost as old as me. It's like one of these old art kit thing boxes. Can't get them. You can't get a box this size. Yeah.
Right.
Right. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah. And show the bottom.
No.
No. Right. Because the bottom is like all filled. Right.
I don't want nobody taking this yet. I won't show the boards yet.
vortexgearcom.
All right. And then I'll also update the event page as well. And I'll put up the link for their site as well. So if anybody doesn't get it the 50,000 times we say it today.
I know, right?
Hey,
And
Chad, so
we guarantee all our stuff for life.
well, I was going to say that too. You know, the one thing that I've noticed with you, Bob, as long as I've known, is that you are. It's all about the integrity, you know, of what you're doing. You want to make sure that they are working and working correctly before you put, you know, your name and, you know, backing it. But you also, like you said, it has a lifetime, you know, warranty. What
Who does it?
equipment? I mean, Chad, have you ever bought any? I bought a lot of equipment for my team, but I have never bought anything that they're like, okay, you know, if anything ever happens, you know, just get back to us and
I'm going to be
fix
honest
it.
with you. We've been in business since 2008, and I've probably had maybe that many things come back.
Yeah, and usually it's something. It's user error. You know,
Oh, well, I can see that.
Our Easy Scan Ghost Boxes has two 9-volt batteries, 2 buttons. So there's a 9-volt for each button. So if you leave one on, right, the box is not working because they both need to be on. But if you leave one button on, it will drain that battery. So then you go on hitting it, you know, and it's like it's not working. It's like the first thing I say is change both batteries. All right.
Right.
Make sure and then turn it on and off. And then,
No, I mean, there's always a chance that,
Yeah.
you know, parts can go bad, but I mean,
yeah, not much.
I don't skimp on any parts at all. You know, we investigate
Yeah,
all the time. And the last thing that I want to do is, especially when you're, you know, renting a place out for thousands of dollars, is get in there and your equipment breaks and you're like, oh, man, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Right.
you know, spirits drain batteries. That happens. So you have to have your pile of batteries. You know that.
Right.
You know, and they can like people like you, like, and you know, it will act up when you're around a psychic, when you're around, you know, someone that's very connected. You know, when this design, now I don't know if he does it anymore, but when I first got one, it was like the design on it was to make the circle, right? And it was connect the circuit, you know, and this thing would go off like one over here, one over here, one over here, one over here, and be like something lingering on this side and messing with it. And I'd be like, can you light up the red one? Can you light up the
It's
others?
not designed to do that.
And, you know, and it's supposed to go blink, blink, you know, and now it's going on slow and coming up, then going on slow and on the next, and I'm like, and I would change the battery and I would be doing the same thing, okay then. So now you know that they can manipulate your equipment to do different things.
Right, absolutely. Well, I mean, again, I think that the more you use the equipment and you get different, evidence from it, like, oh wow, I didn't know it was doing this before. Or I mean, do you see that a lot when you're investigating, like over and over and over, like just
Of course.
so many results that you weren't expecting, maybe?
Of course, all the time. And then I love it too, though, when you have, your EVPs. We listen. Oh, and we do real time too, EVPs. So, that's, take and put your headphones on, plug it into your recorder. Also, number one, all right. Plug it into your recorder and listen while you're doing your, EVP sessions. You can hear them. You don't have to wait and put it on a computer and do your whatever WavePad or Audacity or whatever it is that you use. You don't have to wait for that because you can hear it, and then you can replay it back. He's like the king at that. He can't hear me across the room, but he can hear an EVP like this.
That's called selective.
Well, when Laura was talking about, the cell phone apps, let's talk a little bit about that, because I will tell you, since technology started popping up and we started seeing more investigators using different kinds of equipment, and I'm telling you, it's just crazy because anybody can bring anything out, whether it works or not. And like everybody wants to go and like buy it and, invest. And look, equipment for everybody that has been doing this for a long time is not cheap. And it's like, people started showing all these apps, right? The ghost apps and, the spirit box apps and things like that. And I know that I was working with a friend of mine a long time ago, probably 10, 12 years ago. And he wanted to work on a spirit box app. And so we were going to work on it. But I was a little jaded because I was seeing how a lot of it could be very programmed.
Of course.
And if you have the right,
all those things, I mean, they all
if you have the right information, yes, you can create something that will have, specific words. I had, my friend had created an app that, the more you talked about it, it listened. So it had technology so that if you said, if we're recording and Chad keeps saying, Christina, eventually Christina's going to be into the word bank. And we're probably going to hear it. Probably Chad too.
Echo Vox. I mean, we.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. What do you guys think about that one, the Echo Vox?
I like that one.
You like that one? That one seems to give some interesting stuff.
It does, because you can do whatever you do. You can do it differently each time.
Right, and
there's one mode that will listen to you, and it will.
The voices that come through don't sound like that they're on the like in the word bank. That's the program. Which is pretty interesting stuff, and like immediate answers. We were just messing around with the Echo Box 3.0 the other day, and it's pretty interesting, some of the results that we got. Yeah, but a lot of those apps, I agree with you, Christina. They're kind of I think they're kind of a gimmick.
They just
some of the new stuff out there, actually, it has GPS capability, and so like if you go to Gettysburg, it's going to be spitting out words that are related to their Gettysburg, or Penhurst, it's going to be spitting out stuff like that, which is
I've had a couple experiences where the words that came out of remember that stupid program, Ghost Radar, what's it called? Everybody was playing around with that thing, and I actually heard it say some things one time that there's no way they were programmed in there because they were too vulgar, to be.
Right. Well, then that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, spirits can manipulate anything, but for the most part, those things. You never know. You never know.
Kind of something fun to play with, but
that Phasma thing looks kind of cool. I don't have it, but we don't do those. I mean, I did Echo Box, and what was the other one that we liked?
There's so much good equipment out there right now that you don't need that stuff.
Yeah, you know plus your phone is interfering.
You get in
with
a haunted
location.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big techie person, like I said, but I would think, I mean, when we investigate, one of the first things we all do is turn our phones off. You don't want to have any interference. So if you're physically using that phone,
Yeah.
I mean,
and two phones
for
give
the
up a
app.
I know someone's like recording for Facebook Live, right?
Right.
So one, you're on the internet. Two, you're
Your
going
EMF
live.
meters going
And
up.
and your EMF meter's going off in a cemetery. And it's like,
your
well,
phone constantly pings, and if you get like a EMF detector and put it near your phone, it'll spike every so many seconds. And a lot of these, they'll have their phone right next to the device, and they're looking around. They'll be like, "Oh, did you see that? It just spiked red. Oh, it just spiked red." You know, every so many seconds. And,
but I mean, then you can get a thing like I don't know if I can get it in here. I have a box full of equipment down here. A tri-field meter, right? A tri-field doesn't go off by electronic stuff like that. You know, that's all natural stuff. So, you know, if you wanted to go Facebook Live or live wherever, TikTok or whatever the heck you do, it wouldn't interfere with the field, you know. So it's basically know your equipment, you know. I mean, it's like there's a bunch of kids and, you know, or not so much kids, a bunch of people that just watch a show on TV, get excited about it, and want to grab some equipment and run out in the field. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well, look, I can remember, you know, we're talking about the ghost radar. I can remember when it first came out, right? And everybody had it, and everybody's running around. They're like, "Look at all the spirits that are around us in this room."
There.
And for me, it's kind of crazy because I visually can see spirits. So, So again, I don't need any of this equipment, but I always like it because it's like, okay, let me see if it can validate what I'm picking up, right? Yeah. And so I won't say anything to anybody if I see anything in there, because I'm just trying to see what's going on, if we can get anything to validate, blah, blah, blah. And then we'd get people in there and they'd have all their phones on and they're like, yeah, there's a spirit right there. Oh my God, it's going to touch you. And I'm like,
and SOS too.
Yeah,
I like the SOS.
What do you think about that?
But it's a mapping thing. You know, that it's
I feel like it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But can we really use that for, you know, saying that we have evidence? You know, I mean, if I see a stick figure humping my leg, you know, I'm really not thinking that it's evidence. You know, I'm thinking that, you know, this is funny, but I don't think
everything else is like you combine it with whatever else is going on, probably in the localized environment there. You know, if you're getting other forms of evidence, and maybe, you know, there's something to.
If there's something to back it up, you know, and if you have it on your
different forms of evidence. Types of evidence at once.
Yeah, you have a full spec camera going, you have, you know, a regular camera going, and you see something and it's doing that and it's humping your leg. Then you got
it could have been stick figure humping your leg then.
Right. And you know something's really doing that. But, you know, but by itself, no. I mean, it is doing its job. It's for gaming, right? And gaming is figures. So it picks up an area and it makes
creative idea. There was and it started off with the Xbox, wasn't it? The Xbox Connect is what they're using.
That's what it comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just made to map out humanoid shapes, or it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting.
Of course.
It's fun to play around with.
You don't know until you try these things.
Exactly.
I mean, absolutely go for it. You know, you never know what you're going to get, where you're going to get it, you know, and we've seen some interesting things. We have SLS, you know, we've seen some interesting things with it. But would I say definitive that this is that? No.
I've done a lot of experiments with it.
Oh, yeah.
And, drawing something on the wall or putting a garbage bag down.
A broom handle and
it'll make it a figure.
Yeah. What I do is
I love it. I either feel like it's constantly dancing or dry humping somebody, and it's like there's like nothing in between. It's just like, what's going on with this thing? So I don't know so much about that.
The figure's a little fidgety, you know.
Eddie says, yes, I had an Xbox who always conduct EMF sweeps in his house, and he would say it would always spike. I told him the EMF spiked because your phone is right next to it. You know, a lot of things can cause EMF spikes. I mean, I've gone into homes that, you know, have like really old microwaves and they're like putting the things off. I've had people who like I've walked through the house and picked up absolutely nothing, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm seeing this at night and then we'll find like their head is right by electrical wires when they're
Oh, yeah.
sleeping.
Wi-Fi.
I had a Dark Horse restaurant. They were saying that there's always a constant battle between the kitchen crew and the wait staff, right? Right at the entrance where they were handing the food out to the waitresses picking it up, they were always fighting. Their POS machine was right there, their point of sale machine. That thing made my EMF meter, right, my Mel meter, go up. It was 900 and just stopped registering, right? I'm like, holy hell, you got to get a better POS system and move it,
Right.
And because EMF will make you nuts, right?
Oh, yeah.
It does spark up activity. They feed off of it. They do,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing that will stop EMF too. So if you have a big, the towers across the street from your house, there's really not much you can do to block it. You can get some different stones and things. You can look that up, right? To protect yourself from EMF. What are you doing?
I don't know. Oh,
you're playing with my mouse. And like, there's a thing going around.
And
there's our thing from Mama D. She's always putting our links up. This is what she does.
That's right. Make
sure. But EMF is it can make people go crazy. It can make people see things. It can make people feel like they're in a vortex, all that kind of stuff. So it could be in a very old electrical box, where your main.
I've seen alarm clocks. I've seen alarm clocks peg a millimeter.
Oh yeah, like how is this thing wired and what's in it?
And again, that's not something that we, are taught. Well, most of us who have been in here for a long time didn't get taught anything. It is really, we're self-taught and you learn by trial and error. But that is something, and I have had a lot of cases, residential cases over the years where they had other teams out, and then they would give them all these stories of what's going on, scare the hell out of them. Then we would show up and there would be nothing there. And it was just very high EMF, areas. And yes, it can make you hallucinate. It can make you sick to your stomach.
Yep.
So people would say, oh, when I go in a certain part of my house, I feel sick to my stomach. And so they told me a demon is there. And I'm like, yeah, no, you got a really bad microwave right there.
Cell phone routers at, or your Wi-Fi router.
Yeah, right. Well, but basically your box. Where's your electrical box at?
Right.
I mean,
we had somebody who was sleeping. They had turned
via Wi-Fi, like smart refrigerators and and appliances. They all kick off.
Right. Even in big high-rise buildings, right? In their basements or in their attics, wherever it is, there's a whole slew of boxes in there. There's a whole bunch of electricity all in one area, creating all kinds of EMF. If you're on the first floor, the second floor, or wherever you're close to that, yeah, you're gonna have. Oh, I have activity. I have this and that going on.
What's really interesting is, go.
Especially here in California, because they changed over to the smart meters here in California. And I will tell you, when they started installing those things,
big difference.
People needing investigations like spike like you would not believe. And again, we had somebody who their daughter and boyfriend moved back into the house and they didn't have it, they were in a smaller house. So they made a bedroom in the garage. And same thing, they were like, oh, we're seeing things and we're hearing things. And sure enough, we go around the whole building and outside, literally right where the head of their bed was. On the other side of that wall was the smart meter.
Yep.
So 100%, and then you tell them, and then that they seem disappointed because they think like something crazy is going on in their house. And I'm like, no, this is a good thing.
Like
yeah. And too, it can travel right through cement. It can travel right through anything. Nothing blocks it. Right. So
absolutely.
It's a tough thing. And if you can't block it, you can protect yourself. Really, seriously, there are crystals you can protect yourself from it, somewhat. But I mean,
yeah, Laura says she likes to use the trifil meter too. And you know what? That was kind of one of my staples early on. I'd have the voice recorder, I'd have a tripod with me, I have a REM pod, and then a piece of paper and a pen. And that was like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
my main stuff.
Record it, never leave home without it. All right, that would be the only time I would say, all right, on your phone, if you're all of a sudden you're driving and you get that there's something going on here, you know what I mean, that feeling, and you can stop, whatever you want to do, a quick little, hey, what's going on here, get a record, voice record thing on.
Oh yeah, that's
you know,
pretty much
that's
what
fun.
we do.
Yeah, that's fun.
That.
But especially if you have one that shows the wave, you know what I mean, because where our voices are and where the spirit voices are is different. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I have.
I know.
I have 4K is asking from.
You're hot.
It's not telling me where. He's giving off all the energy.
Eyes make me like really hot.
Or is asking, what does the price range for your equipment?
We're not expensive at all, really. I mean, it's 100.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to go to the site.
Yeah, 105
for these.
For
that's with shipping, free shipping.
And I'll tell you, they were going for, I think, the other person we were talking about, it was like 165, and then one of the other ones, they're like, oh, if you want this, it's 185, and I was like, whoa, okay.
And they
but again, if you guys,
her thing won't even go as far as ours. She says it's like 16 feet. I mean, ours goes.
It's got to set up for 2 minutes.
45 feet. Oh yeah, and then she said on her thing too, it's going to set up for 2 minutes. I'm like, 2 minutes? You're going to miss a whole investigation in that 2 minutes, right?
Right, that's all the time, yeah.
Ours will read the room when you turn it on, but it is no 2 minutes.
Yeah, it takes like 30 seconds, maybe, if that, 15 seconds.
Yeah,
just a set.
It's basically reading every object in the room, the ambient temperature of it.
Yeah, but like that. And
again, guys, so make sure that you go to the website, and let me actually put the link up here again. It'll also be in the chat boxes as well. But go and take a look. I mean, again, they've got all kinds of stuff. Everything you could think of, they've got. It comes with the lifetime warranty. As Bob said, that's awesome that you've only had, a handful of things, somebody reach back out to you for that. That says a lot about the quality and workmanship of, the equipment itself.
Take a lot of pride in that,
Yeah, absolutely. So again, take a look, because believe me, again, my team they love techie stuff. They love anything technology. They just won't let me get anywhere near it, but they love it. And so I've looked at all kinds of sites actually over the years, and going to different events in the Paracon, there's always people selling stuff, and it's very expensive. So the prices that I've seen on your site are very reasonable, especially for the quality that you're going, to get. It's not something that somebody just went and just threw a bunch of stuff together and said, "Oh, I hope it works for you."
There are a lot of good builders out there. There really are.
We're not getting rich on
there are quite a few bad ones, and if you buy something from them and it breaks, usually they're gone in a year or
if
two.
you even get anything. There's some that take your money and split, and so you got to be careful. I mean, if you're new and you're coming into the field, first ask all, the field is all out there now online. You know what I mean? Ask,
right.
Where do you get your equipment? Who do you trust? Who do you know? You know what I mean? What do you use? Ask before you buy. That's the best piece of advice you can give someone.
Actually, this was almost like a dare when I did it, because there was another box out there, a music box, and it was one of the first ones that came out. It was like close to $400 they were charging.
Oh God,
for
that wind up thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Band?
I looked at it and I said, yeah, I can make a better one than that.
That's junk. I mean, you know what happens to rubber bands when they sit in your drawer? They dry up, break,
and get brittle.
That's cool. Right. I mean, it's a cool concept.
But it's also something that's not going to be a long-term piece of equipment. And again, when you are putting hundreds of dollars, it's not like we have sponsors and everybody's buying all of our equipment. We're buying it out of our own pockets and taking it out of, our own money. So if you're going to invest and we know that for quality equipment, you have to spend some money. So a lot of us will save up, we'll buy that, but there's nothing worse than buying something for $400.
This is not my job. This is more like a hobby for me.
He just wants to have people
I'm
have
a diesel
good
mechanic,
equipment.
so I'm working 7 days a week,
No, but you know what? I mean, I appreciate so much for somebody like you that, again, that you've got a full plate, just on a regular job, but then to have such an interest and want to bring equipment, and again, quality equipment. That's my biggest thing, because again, I have bought equipment for my team and it has not lasted more than a year. I mean, we take it to every investigation and use it, but we've got them, in cases. It's not like they're being tossed around. I mean, they should last, but it's just like it seems like they don't got a very long shelf life. And when you're investigating all the time, it's like you're trying to build up all of your equipment and your toys to be able to use, and then it doesn't work.
I have a whole bag full here. I've got another bag full over there.
Actually,
we do our DVR cameras and everything.
This REM pod, we call it a V pod. When I first started making these, I think it was 2010 was the first year. I can't remember, but I don't know if you guys know Greg O'Brien. He's from Fort Mifflin. He runs Fort Mifflin. He bought number 2. It was the second one that I ever made.
He's still using it?
He just sent it back. It was a straight antenna on it. And he said the antenna broke. And I replaced it for him. I put one of these on it. But that was how many years ago? That was, 13 years ago.
Yes. And all I needed was an antenna. So that tells you, got to upgrade and everything.
Yeah, I just sent him a complete upgrade. I said, "There you go, bud. See you in 15 years."
So for that one right there, I mean, because again, for a REM pod, everybody needs to have a good REM pod. What is the price range? For
this, it's 120. That's 120.
Okay.
And the shipping is included.
So. Nice. Okay. Absolutely.
For the lifetime.
I have Rachel from Puerto Rico, and she is asking, when looking for equipment, is there somebody that we can contact or one of you to be able to get advice on buying the right equipment that we want?
Yeah, you can message us.
Gina, you say it like, oh, of course, why not? But you know what? That is not something that a lot of people do. It is like pulling teeth to get anybody to help you.
We get that all
the time.
All the time we get it.
Yeah. Yeah, because
so there you go, guys.
Page, you can message on either one of our pages.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't.
We have a lot of pages.
We don't push our equipment either. I mean, if they're legitimately just looking for a good recorder or something, we'll turn them on to a good recorder.
Right. Right.
Yeah, where to start, what you need to start with, and again, we don't sell recorders, but you need a recorder, a digital recorder that you can put onto your computer, and you can use your WavePad or your Audacity or whatever to get your EVPs. That's first and foremost. You can't have an investigation without recording your evidence,
and
right?
Blinky lights
and pretty lights. But it really is all on what the claim is at the location. Are they claiming manifestations? Are they claiming they're seeing things? Are they hearing things? Okay. Are they hearing voices? Are they hearing, feeling footsteps? Then you want a geophone. If they're seeing things, you want the domes. If something is constantly touching stuff, use your HTO or use any kind of proximity meter where they have to go to that area. If your keys are missing and your glasses are getting moved and your everything like that, you use your HTO, hook it right on it. All these things. Oh, look at Mama D's. Mama D's putting it up there, right there.
Make sure to promote and make sure we got all those links so you'll be able to find both of them. Well, again, I think that it's important because, again, we have a lot of new investigators to the field. We see this all the time. And, they really don't know where to start. And, back when I started, you could reach out to other teams and they wanted to work with you. They wanted to help you out, everything. It seems like those days are gone. I don't know. It's like everybody now.
they're not totally, you just got to get away from the crew that just wants to be rich and famous.
Yeah, this isn't about
Do they
getting.
ever get there though? That's the question. Does it ever happen? Because
If you're doing it to get on TV, get out now.
Yeah.
Just get
Yeah,
out.
you're not going to get rich and famous. You're not, but if you're truly interested in the field, or if you truly want to help people, or if you truly, have the calling, or if all of a sudden or your whole life you've been seeing spirits and you haven't told anybody, you reach out to a person like Christina, who sees them, who can tell you all about it. You can go to psychic development classes. You can go to a good paranormal team that will help you, and one that doesn't scare people. One that doesn't go kicking down your doors and saying,
you got a demon, get out.
Yeah, or scaring the spirit. It's like, with a good team, and a team that's supposed to be helping people, you're supposed to go into a home, you talk with the people there. That's right. That's right.
That's right. Then you're famous if you go in the box. That's right.
That's true, Mama. But you go in and you conduct an interview. Like if I go in and I'm talking to someone, I have a crap ton of papers you're filling out. Right. So
I have an application, and mine's like 7 pages long, and it goes through,
There's
your
so many
background,
crazies out there. I mean, we were doing so many cases, and you get there and they're already ordering pizza to watch to see what the hell you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not why we're here. We thought you had a problem,
Right. So, and you go in and you interview the person. I have you fill out the forms. I read the forms, see if it coincides with what you're telling me. And then if I conduct this investigation, now I'm talking to the spirit. If there's a legit spirit going on there, it's like, all right, so what's going on with you and this person? Why are you not getting along? Why are you bothering them? And it could be something so simple as they changed the wallpaper in my bedroom and I don't like it.
That's very true. I have a funny story that I had one time. I had a client, and so, mind you, one of our number one rules was that we did not go and investigate by ourselves. So, I was the one that if we got a client and they called me in the middle of the morning, I'd be the one jump up and want to go drive to go help them. And so my team said, absolutely not. You don't know who these people are who call. And then it was like that was like during a time where like there was a lot of investigators that were being set up by weird people and they say they're a client and they're some weirdo creepo. So we made that rule. So I get a call from this lady, and she calls me, and she's very hysterical, and she says, I need your help. I need you and your team to come, and I need you to come right away. And I said, okay, well, what's going on? And she says, I've got a demon here. Now, of course, I'm like, okay, so, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, it sits down on the bed, and I can see it, and I just feel something is really bad, and I need you to get here. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to need to get a hold of my team, and like we could probably get out. This was like on a Thursday. I could probably get out there on Saturday. Well, I'll give you a call back. Well, that night about 3 in the morning or 2 or 3 in the morning, I got a call, and she was just beside herself, and she was in hysterics. And she said, oh my God, whatever's here, it's trying to kill me. I was sitting there, and it just grabbed me, and it started squeezing me so hard I couldn't breathe. You got to help me. You got to help me. And she was an older, lady, so I was kind of feeling bad. So I was like, okay, she couldn't calm down. She had no family. So I'm like, all right, her place was like 3 hours from me. So I said, okay, I'm hopping in my car. I'll be there. Just hold tight. I'm coming. So I get there, and as I get there, I drove straight through. I pull up at her house. She opens the door, and I see this the client, she's standing in the door, and right behind her, I see this old lady, and she looks at me, and I can see she's a spirit, right? And she says, it's about goddamn time you got here. Ooh. I've been trying to give my daughter a hug, and she thinks I'm a goddamn demon.
Exactly.
So I said,
that the stuff going on, it's like, demons are minority, not majority, right? So right. It's like, right. It is. In a spirit, if they want your attention, they're going to do everything that they can. And especially at night, because, yes. When you're going to sleep, people are always saying, oh my God, I'm getting held down, right? Well, you know what? you're getting held down because your body itself, before you go into REM sleep, paralyzes you so you don't hurt yourself while you're sleeping. We're
Right.
equipped that way. All right. So yeah. So if you get woken up, like say a spirit is trying to come in to talk to you at that point, because now you're not thinking about everything all day. I got to take Johnny to soccer and pick up this and do this for work, and I got to make that, and I got to do taxes, and I got to do whatever. Right. All those things are going on. They're not in your head at that point. Spirit will come in and be like, all right, now you're going to listen to me. Damn it. Right. But you wake up while this is happening and you freak out because your body itself is paralyzed, not because of the spirit holding you down. Yeah, the spirit's trying to talk to you at that point because it can, right? But it's not holding you down. And it takes a couple minutes for you to be able to get yourself back, right? But now again, I'm not saying that this can't happen, that a spirit doesn't hold you down, because they can, right? But again, minority, not majority, all right? And then two, if it's something that you feel is evil and you can't move, you can always make the sign of the cross with your tongue, because your tongue will still move. You can make the sign of the cross on the roof of your mouth, and you can protect yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is too with it. Now, like with this situation, she was wide awake. She wasn't sleeping. She was wide awake. But what it was is that she had just lost her mother. And so she was sitting on the bed and she was holding a picture of her mother and she was just bawling and grieving. And the mother sat down on the bed. That's why she saw that the bed went down, and went to hug her. But again, we have to remember, we are very conditioned, and just in being humans, just in general, we are afraid of what we don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, you put watching scary movies, hearing scary stories, coupled with you can't see what's going on around you. I saw somebody in the chat said, "Oh, that they're a medium as well, but they don't see things, and they're glad." And I can agree with that, because sometimes things will look very just like me and you. Some things I see are very scary, and it's a much different thing. But for the most part, when you have things, and again, something really dark is the minority. I've had cases, I've had things in my own life happen that are very, very dark, but I'm talking over 56 years. So, I mean, it's the amount of ones that you really find that are really bad, it doesn't really seem to be a lot. And a lot of times we can think that it's something very dark when it can just be a human spirit who was just very dark when they were on earth and they haven't crossed over. So they still retain all of those negative things. If they were a rapist or a woman beater,
Exactly.
and then they get around a woman and they want to push a woman or try to, do something to her, and they're like, oh my God, it's demonic. No, it's a really nasty spirit.
Exactly.
Human spirit.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Is that all right? I always say this too, like the spirit and ghost, right? Ghost would be that, you know what I mean? Like still holding on all to your human emotions, not crossed over and come back,
right.
But then a spirit can like cross over, come back, is more enlightened. It's not bogged down again by human emotions, and that's the one that can help you become your spirit guide or your helper, or whatever, watch over your family, help you, with your ancestors, with everything. Why are you stepping on me?
I also find a lot of times when we talk about, going
purpose.
Quit playing footsie with me.
Playing footsie.
Because the woman that I was telling you I was helping, it was funny because I said, she just looked at me and I said, she's like, why did it take you so long to get here? And I said, okay, hold on a second. Did you just lose your mom? And then she kind of looked at me. And then when I said, oh yeah, that's not a spirit, it's your mom. I mean, it's not a demon, it's your mom. She was trying to give you a hug. Were you crying last night? She's showing me you were sitting on the bed and she tries to hold you. It changed her whole demeanor. She looked at me and she said, you mean it's not a demon, it's my mother? And I'm like, yeah. And she said, okay, thank you. And she literally slammed the door in my face. Like I literally drove 3 hours and saw her for like 3 minutes.
Coffee. Right. That's how people are, ungrateful people. but that's what happens. You never know, and it's like the angry spirit or the people, you know what I mean? You find that balance between the two. You talk to the spirit, you talk to the people, you try to make that work. If it doesn't, one or the other has to go. It's plain and simple.
Laura says, my help is faith-based. I've met people who grew up in the Bible Belt. to them, all spirit is demonic. You know, I will say I grew up
Religion.
Catholic. I grew up in such a devout Catholic family. You have no idea. We're Italian. Like at my grandmother's house, we had not only the priest, but the Monsignor or the bishop come to our house for dinner on Sunday after we got done doing anything. We spent more time at the church than we did at home.
Right.
So, you
Constant
know,
novenas, constant everything, all the time.
and, I'm left-handed, which anybody who's in Catholicism, that's already the sign of the devil as it was, so I was always getting hit. I am ambidextrous now because I was forced to write with my right hand. I had green eyes. I was always questioning everything. So they really hated me. So I eventually got out of Catholicism and I said, I really want to like check other faiths out. I just really couldn't find, everybody is so religious and it was really affecting things. But what I did notice is that you really do need to kind of open up because I've seen teams that'll go in and they want to do like a cleansing, right? And they're doing a Catholic cleansing. And I went this one time and the guy was atheist, right? So the leader comes in and he's like, okay, we're going to do the blessing. And he pulls out some holy water and everything. And that guy looked at him like he wanted to throat punch him. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like,
no,
they're not going to believe in that. It's just like if they're American Indian, you
right.
can't go and be sprinkling around, some holy water like that.
That's why we investigate. You got to know what you're getting rid of.
But again, people have this, one step cookie cutter cleansing. They think that, one step will do it all. And I'm like, no, it really isn't that way.
A good team too will step back and say, all right, this one's not in my realm, but I know someone that can.
Right? Yes. I've had plenty of Indian shaman come out when we've had, a really bad, situation. Because again, it's like you want to make sure, especially for your clients, that you're doing it correctly.
Yep.
And
a good job as well. They have astral projection. That's like part of their training. They don't have to come to the place and the location. Like Michael Robichaud, he's really good. He's in Virginia. He's cleansed all kinds of places all over the place, and he's never left Virginia. You know what I mean? So a good one. Afraid of attachments.
Jennifer says, I'm afraid of attachments when I go to haunted places or cemeteries. Well, Jennifer, all you need to do is do some protection. That's going to be your number one friend. And you should always be doing protection before you investigate, as well as when you end investigating, and make sure that you let anybody that's there know that they cannot come home with you. They must stay where they are at.
Right. And do that every day anyway.
At 100%, because again, you can attract things going anywhere. I can track things going to the post office, and something will follow me back. Yes, very easy.
I love to hang around Walmart. I swear to God.
You get the freaky ones.
I swear to God. It's like
I don't think they're spirits.
Yeah, there's some crazies at Walmart, but seriously,
that's a whole different deal there.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathaniel. Hey, Nathaniel, how you doing? He says, hey, Christina, remember the Turlock house where Ryan wanted to go tie the woman to the bed and have an exorcism?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah. So I met a guy and he was following my radio show. And he was always sending me messages, things like that. He was giving ghost tours in Turlock. So I had got
kidnapping people and tying them to beds or no?
I had this client call me and they had, like I said, multiple teams come out. And she's like, oh, I had this guy. He's from our area. He does ghost tours. And he came and he did an investigation here. And he told me that I have demons and they're trying to kill my little boy.
Oh, my God.
Now, mind you, they had just bought this house. It was a brand new house. And we walked through that house and it definitely was nothing demonic. That, they definitely had attracted a couple things. The child was very gifted. So was the mother. So didn't shock me whatsoever. But I'm like, I'm not getting anything demonic, not getting anything like that. This guy, while I was there, was calling because he wanted to now put their home on his ghost tour roster so that he could be taking people to the demonic house.
Oh, God.
And she said, "Oh, well, I have a team here," and they said it's not demonic. And so the guy scared the hell out of her and said, "Well, you know that the girl you have there, she's a witch, and she's going to be putting some kind of curse on you, and it's going to make it worse."
Oh my
So
God!
now
They
she,
got to pay me $5,000 to take that curse off.
right? And she was so scared that her husband, and her child literally moved from this
That's
big
horrible. That is
4-bedroom house.
the worst you can do to anybody. I mean,
Yes,
honest to God, how can you live with
yes,
yourself when you take
yes.
advantage of someone who's in a state where they're calling you for help and you're going to do that to them? Oh,
This guy was literally crazy. Like I say, so of course now he's not my fan anymore, because after that we do the cleansing, we do the investigation, we do the cleansing, put some pyrite in, to the corners of the property. We gridded it, the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna make sure she's 100% good and she felt good. Her and her husband went through with us to make sure we empowered her son, the whole 9 yards. And then I worked with their son and her afterwards. So now they're able to move back into their house, never had activity again. Now that's the cash cow's gone for him. So he really hates me. So now he finds a little abandoned house that had been condemned out in the middle of some orchard.
That's where the demon moved to.
I guess. Yeah. No, well, there was a demon everywhere he went. So I found out about this place too, but I found out that the place was condemned, and he was bringing adults and children into this home.
Man, you can't do that. Again, now you're risking people's personal safety.
Money demon.
On top of,
right? Charging big money, for them to go through. So I decided, I could not with a clear conscience, after what I'd already dealt with him, I'm like, yeah, this can't be happening. And you got kids going in there, like literally the floors in the second story were literally like, if you weighed too much, you're going straight through the floor. And nobody knew he was out there because it's in the middle of orchards. The only person who knew was the neighbor across the street, and he was buying him like a 12-pack of beer so that the guy wouldn't say anything and let them investigate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lordy.
Yeah.
All right, again,
Bottle of
people,
Sneaky
you know what? If it seems, not legit, it's probably not legit. You know what I mean? Trust yourself. Trust your gut instincts. When you go to a person, you go to a psychic, you go to a team, you go to whatever.
Drink some of their guilty demon.
Yeah, right?
Well, Nathaniel, he said the lady, she had a seizure.
Will tell you,
Yeah.
people are legit or not,
Well, the lady, she said, she had a seizure. She had a seizure disorder. And he told her she was possessed by a demon and that he needed to do an exorcism on her, and he wanted to film it. And he was serious. Like, I mean, he really, now mind you, he lived, when I say it's like some weirdo that lives in his mom's basement, like he was really a weirdo that lived in his mom's basement. Yes, it was.
In the field is a ton. I mean, it's any field. I mean, there's creeps in every field. You know what I mean? There's people that are trying to get money off of you in every field.
Sometimes I feel like I live in the basement.
Well, that's because you're down there working on who knows, God knows what now. I mean, seriously, when I go downstairs,
I work in the basement, so I get it.
Swinging, and, him going hee in the background. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving.
Laura says, I don't charge to help people, but if they want to donate towards sage, stones, Palo Santo, holy water, I pay that forward.
Sure. Yeah, things like that. If you travel,
we've done that too. I mean, we don't charge for our investigations or any cleansings or blessings that we do ever. But again, if we're driving really far and they want to, we've had them like make dinner for us. They've bought dinner for us. They've given us gas money, things like that. But yeah, as far as like charging, I've seen a lot of teams that do charge, and it really irritates the hell out of me.
I've been asked that a lot, whether I charge, and I'm always like, no, I don't know. It's all
no.
It's all,
but I mean, if you go 100 miles to somebody, you know what I mean? That's a lot of
some people might have. There must be a lot of people out there that do charge, though.
There is, and then
and I would say if I had somebody
charging,
like travel expenses, that's understandable because like said very few people, except for the people that are full of shit, make, nobody makes any money, really. But it's like, yeah. But besides that, but a lot of people must a good amount must charge, because
they do, and they do. They'll charge to come out for your investigation. They'll charge for a cleansing. They'll charge for curse removals. They'll charge. They'll have a freaking menu.
That
right?
reflects back on everybody.
People will charge you to teach you how to be an investigator and give you a certificate.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have a book. From someone gave me a thing from one of these certification programs. I'm like, they're talking about orbs in there, refractory, how lights are, they made it look like it's really,
yeah,
the nitty gritty and all kinds of technical stuff. It's a fun.
If you got dust,
Laura says, because sometimes these families are on a very limited budget as it is. And even if they're not on a limited budget, you know what it is like, again, anybody who is in this field has had some kind of experiences themselves. And I will tell you, the biggest thing that got me in this field was not having anybody to help me when I was going through.
Yeah, back in the day, it wasn't a popular topic,
Right.
I hit it,
but
it's like, I didn't tell them. I usually they find out eventually, and I'd be like, well, I want people to get to know me before they think I'm a total whack job.
Exactly.
And Carol Ann, and that's one of my good friends. She said she's never asked for money. It's not right in her opinion. And again, I think a lot of us that have been in the field for a very long time, that is really kind of just
financial campaign.
We're there to help. We're not there to gain anything. We probably spend way more money than we ever expected helping. The one thing, I used to get a lot of calls from people all over the United States. That was the one good thing that I liked about back in the day, is that I connected with a whole lot of really great teams. Mm-hmm. And so if somebody contacted me and said, hey, I'm in New York, look, I'm like, oh, I know somebody that I trust. I can call and they'll come and help you out. And I've done that a few times, over the years.
Yeah, I'm find people. Like I remember, oh my God, when I don't even know when it was, maybe 15 years ago, I was in this one group, and it was like it was a TAPS group too. So you would get TAPS cases. But at least with that, you'd have the list of all the other teams that were in TAPS. So like if someone called you for the area, say no, there's this group in there, and that they're okay if they're a TAPS team because they've been vetted.
I can remember way back then too. Like everybody wanted to be part of the TAPS so that they would be considered a legit team. So. Mm-hmm. But you had a lot of resources, and even just over the years, there's been a lot of people who have made paranormal directories by state, different things so that you could call. I just kind of feel sad now because I don't see that same camaraderie. I see a lot of competition, a lot of jealousy, and a whole lot of backstabbing, which, hey, for me and my show, that gives me all kinds of material. But as far as being an investigator, pretty much sucks.
Well, that's why I don't do it on my show. I still have paranormal people come on. I love the paranormal. I mean, I can talk about it. I can yap. You can tell already, right? I can yap forever on paranormal, But on my show, I do a lot of metaphysical, more psychics, more, getting in touch with yourself and all that kind of stuff. And because it's like paranormal to me, it's the same thing kind of over and over and over again, So it's tough when you get a different aspect or a different view, But the drama can fill up your show forever.
I agree.
There's so much, and unfortunately over the years, just because I've had a whole lot of topics, that have been very drama-filled and controversial, people started to know that's the type of show. And if you did something, and I found out, I was probably going to put you out on blast on my show. But over time, that's even backfired, because now you've got people reaching out to me only because now they're mad at their old best friend or their old team they got kicked off the team for doing something. Now they want to call me or message me and tell me all the drama, why I need to put them on make them a topic of my show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's not what, that's not what I'm about either,
Yeah. I mean, our show, I'm booking now like December. I'm so far out there. It's ridiculous. But it's I don't even know how to. I don't even want to get feed the drama. I really don't.
Not even worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely know what you're talking about. So I mean, I enjoy talking about all of this stuff. So for me, well, before I had two different separate shows. So I kept the paranormal and metaphysical in one, and then I did like cryptozoology, ufology, all that kind of stuff on the other one, only because originally I tried to like combine it all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the blowback I got from that, because it's like the paranormal people don't believe in the Bigfoot people. The Bigfoot people don't believe in the, and
No such thing as aliens, but then we're all aliens. And then it's like,
I'm just like, come on, people. It's like we've got all these fields and everybody wants you to be, completely just in that little bubble. And I'm just, so now this time I come back and
we've had some crazy people on, like the flat earth guy, right? Durf.
Oh boy.
Wait, that show had more views, and we were just like, I'm never speechless. That guy got me speechless. Holy cow!
You definitely can find some interesting guests, to be on the show. That's for sure. And
have some pretty interesting aspects to why they believe what they do. I mean, I don't believe in the flat Earth thing necessarily, but they have some interesting argument points. Some of them do. That makes you kind of think. It's like, well, really, that is kind of interesting. I never thought about that. And so it's not just completely insane. Like one guy was saying, well, how come when you're up in an airplane, everyone was flat? As far as you can see, the atmosphere.
Like everything goes from the Arctic Circle.
Right. The atmosphere as well, but it's just like, well, I mean, some of it's pretty interesting, and there were some other talking points, but no, I don't believe the Earth is flat. Kind of be honest. And what were we talking about last time, Christina? The Mandela effect. There was something I was watching on that the other day. Supposedly now we that went into outer space in the 1500s, like modern. Look it up. I don't remember hearing about that. You?
I have a really hard time hearing you because of the echo right now.
Oh, okay. Is it me?
Yeah, you got feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, how about now?
A little better.
A little better.
Let me take you out and put you back on. Hold on.
All right.
Hey, Chad, how you doing?
Yeah, speaker and
we're on top now.
Well, you can flip this. So you just flip it.
You guys are fine.
We can.
Sound better?
It's a little.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, much better. Okay.
Oh, much better.
Okay.
So now
you were talking about the Mandela effect. What were you talking about?
Oh, that supposedly now the first space rocket was tested back in the 1500s. Like like the modern, like our modern space project. Like the ones that separate when they go into the atmosphere. Yeah. I don't remember hearing about that. Do you guys remember hearing about that ever?
I do not. However, I do know that like our technology. This is kind of a freaky thing, though, if you think about it. The crash in Roswell, right? Mm-hmm. We were here technologically. After that, crash, then we zoom out and we're.
We gained more technology in the last 100 years than we did in all of recorded human history. It's kind of weird, huh?
Instantly, yeah. I mean, I believe we're not the only ones here. I do believe in that.
No, and now the government's coming out and admitting that these UFOs are real. But but if you can believe it or not, it's just a really interesting time. People were so fascinated with the UFO thing, and now that they're coming out and admitting it, nobody cares. It seems like weird.
Yeah, you get saturated by it, and then it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But when it's mystique and mystery in the air, then everyone's like, "Ooh, is it?" The Masons. Ooh, there's something secret going on there.
It's weird. There are some real, definite strange things out there for sure. Of course, doing what we do.
Lots of conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, then lots of stuff that's completely off the wall. But some of it though, I mean, there's some weird stuff that goes on, and you know, the whole. It's an interesting time to live in, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, we actually have a show coming up that's going to be. I've got 3 guests coming on that are all abductees and all coming out for the first time with their stories. So that'll be interesting. I decided to bring it all back.
Yeah, I haven't done one of those shows in, oh my God, since when Chris George was my co-host, right? Well, I was his co-host. He was his show, Second Sight. We used to have on Ion Zeta a few times. She's been on.
Yep.
And then what's her name? Andrea Perron. She's big into the UFOs, so we've had her on, and then Conwell's, now they hooked up with someone else. They're coming to the Paracon, the new author there. I'm sorry, I can't think of her name right now. Miranda, maybe something with an M, but she came out with a new book too on UFOs. Yeah, I don't know. It astonishes me, when you're going way back into like Egyptian times, when you see the hieroglyphs and the, spaceships there, and again, another big technology jump.
Yeah, it's strange. Definitely strange. It's like they knew they had the knowledge, but they didn't actually do much with it. It's an interesting topic because they had batteries and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then like the pyramids, they're still not sure what those things were or they weren't tombs, I guess.
Yes, they were on crystal beds. The crystal beds go through. Yeah. There's a series inside every pyramid. From the top of the pyramid, every single pyramid, from the beginning to the last pyramid, it's the same energy, same height. Every single one. So they were like television or cell towers. You know what I mean? So they were purpose. They were on ley lines, all that kind of stuff. It's a very interesting subject.
Yeah, really interesting. I was going to see if that made my echo better, but
I know. I don't know who's the hit.
I think we got the echo demon going on here or something.
I know. I can't put on headphones. Two of us.
Last week we got an EVP right at the beginning of our show.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting stuff that I heard. Anyway, I mean, I don't know what it was.
I heard a growl, and she said it was you.
Yeah. What was that?
I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I heard it.
And she's like, oh, it's a demon.
Demons in here. Out, demon. Where's my Bible?
The growl's got to be demon, right?
My office or my studio in my office where I have it. So I live and work in a historical building in Old Sacramento, and we have all kinds of stuff down here. It's like a mini Virginia city, so I absolutely love it down here. But when Michelle and them came out from Reno this past weekend for my birthday, we were in here investigating in my office because
what was with the masks? That was amazing.
Oh, we went to a haunted costume shop that is very well known out here. So we had to go there. And so, of course, we had to get the masks and we had to take pictures. And yeah, amazing. I'm going to set up an investigation for us there.
Awesome. I want to come.
Yeah, come on. I keep trying to tell you, come visit. I live right in the heart of Old Sacramento, and it is everything around here is haunted. It's amazing. So, and then we got Preston Castle that's 20 minutes from me. I mean, there's so much around here. So you absolutely should come visit, and yeah, let's go do some investigating. That'd be a blast.
Oh, I'd love it. I would love it. And I was with Michelle in Salem at one point. We finally met her. I just love her. I really do.
Yes. Well, you could always fly and meet us in Reno. We could go to Virginia City.
Mm-hmm.
The whole town is haunted. So
yeah, no matter where you go, you step off the bus.
No matter where you go.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like ghosts, and spirits. That's all that's there. It's bars and haunted location. And most of the bars are haunted too. So it doesn't
definitely my kind of place.
Yep. Well, that's when we need the HDO. You put that little tray up on the bar and you put a shot beer on there, you hook that thing up and say, who wants a shot and a beer? And all of a sudden that thing starts lighting up, you know.
Well, we're gonna have to set something up so that we can all go up there and do an investigation up there for sure.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
All right, everyone. Well, it looks like we are out of time for tonight, but I want to thank Bob and Gina. Thank you so much for being on the show. I so appreciate you both. And, Bob, thank you for what you do. I appreciate you taking and, putting your time, your money, your effort, into making some really reliable, equipment that our field can use, because Lord knows we need it.
Yep. And get the real cryptocords at
absolutely
gear.com.
Everybody make sure to go check out the links. I will also, obviously, if you don't want to scroll through all of the comments, I will also update the event page, and right underneath their pictures, I will put the link. Please go check out their site. And if you're wanting to get some really good, authentic, investigative tools, paranormal equipment,
fully customized,
that has warranty, that's where you want to go. If you see it anywhere else, it's a knockoff. We're just going to put it that way. It's a knockoff.
Yep. Knockoff is
all right, guys.
Not with it.
Absolutely. And one more time, give a shout out for your radio show and let our listeners know where they can check it out.
Gina B and Mama D every Thursday evening. It's the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. We are live streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and our audio venue goes out to so many places I don't even know. If really, Spotify, iHeart, RSS, Radio Public, the list is forever. I don't even know. But this week we have Brent Michael Phillips.
Nice.
About healing miracles.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody make sure to go and check out Gina. Give her some support. She has a great show. And Chad, hey, thanks for being here again.
No problem. No problem. I'll make sure to keep you unmuted now. Okay.
Yes. Nice to see you, Chad.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, everyone.
Yeah, great show. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Fascinating stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we do answer.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. If you have any questions, make sure you can email me at paranormalinvestigator916@gmail.com, or you can send it directly to the show at paranormalconnections@gmail.com. All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Please make sure to share this in your groups and with your friends. Let people know the show is back. And again, we appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Have a good night.
Thank you.